This is an ESP M1. The M1 because there's one humbucking pickup. M1. If it was two, it would be an M2. And I got this from a vendor online on the East Coast. I saw it online. It was too expensive. Thought about it. Got it. It's way too expensive. Most people don't need this. I certainly don't need this, but I wanted it in my arsenal. USA ESP handmade. And yes, you can tell. There's the LTD series. There's a lot of different series from ESP. One thing that drives me crazy, and I had a couple of these, is when they put the ESP logo on the 12th fret. The ESP USA, the very pricey ones that we don't need, logo is on the headstock. It says ESP. This is how it used to be back in the day. Now, the ones, from what I understand, that have the ESP logo on the 12th fret, that's the quality, and it's still great quality, but there is a difference between the LTD, which is the lowest line, which is still good. I've had a couple of those too. I sold them. There's a difference between the LTD, which is the lowest line, the ESP series, which is the E2 series, and then this just ESP USA. And on the headstock it says ESP M1 USA, if you're into that thing. Now, I have a Jackson Soloist. It's great. It's a neck through. I'm not a fan of neck throughs. I love the guitar a lot, but I like this one more. You can just feel the difference. The Soloist by Jackson is phenomenal. This one, there's just something about it. It just fits me a little bit more, even though I would be totally happy with just the Soloist. This one, all handmade, custom paint job. It's beautiful. Original Floyd Rose. It's got a Seymour Duncan custom, not a custom wound. They just call it a custom. It's a phenomenal pickup for metal or anything. Completely silent, really powerful. It's got a lot of volume. Just as powerful and quiet on the cleans like an EMG 85, but it doesn't have the brittleness of the EMG pickups. It sounds full and wide and a lot of bottom end punch, especially through a half stack. You can split it, so now it acts as a single coil. Sounds great for, it's got that raspiness for if you want to do blues or whatever. No tone control. I hate tone controls. It just goes right from the volume to the pickup. That's it. You know, tone is nothing more than a resistor. Gets in the way. I can't stand it. I just want one path from the pickup to the amp, and that's it. I don't even really use many effects. Just reverb and chorus. A little bit of delay, maybe, just to give it a little bit of ambiance, you know. It's ebony fretboard. It's not solid black, but it's close. It looks like a very, very dark rosewood. I don't know if you can see that. Ebony, from what I understand, is scarce. You know, I remember back in the 80s, you could go into most any guitar store, and if it had an ebony board, it was solid black, like black marble, just black. The whole thing was just solid black. It was kick-ass. I remember going into Biasco Music years ago in Chicago. If you guys remember Biasco Music, those of you in the city. I remember picking up a Dean guitar, and it was a solid black. I wish I knew the model of it. It was just a Strat body, you know, Floyd copy, but it just felt really good. I remember the neck was so slick. It was a solid ebony fretboard. I'd love to get one of those Dean guitars. I'm going to be and have been showcasing bands from the 80s when they were all young, like in their 20s. I still can't believe George Lynch is like in his early 70s. I refuse to believe that. I still see George in his mid-20s, whatever. All these huge world tours that we used to have, you know, when you had to go behind the furniture section of Sears to Ticketmaster in the mall. Yeah, those were the days. You had to go behind like the Lazy Boy couch section, and there was like a hidden area with customer service, and you got your tickets there from Ticketmaster, and that's where you bought your tickets for concerts. Yep, the good old days. Damn, those were better times. This internet really messed everything up. Stainless steel frets, extra jumbo frets, which mean they just sit a little bit higher off the fretboard, which I like. Really not much difference between the jumbo frets and the extra jumbo. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why it was easier, just a little easier for me to do bends on this guitar than the other guitars. Well, I looked up the specs. It has extra jumbo frets, which means that the frets, being stainless steel, which is better for bending and everything anyway, they sit a little higher, which means you can get your finger under the string just a little bit more, even microscopically, so you can do bends easier, just like the Yngwie Malmsteen scalloped neck. I've had a couple of those guitars. I love them. The neck, I don't know if you can tell, but it is, I've done a video on this before. I like to show the fretboard or the neck as best I can, because a lot of videos don't do that on YouTube. It's about as thin as a good Ibanez Gem neck. A little thicker than a Jackson Soloist. Not baseball baddie at all, not Fender guitar at all. It's a little thicker than an Ibanez Prestige, but not that much. You can tell. You hold this, then you hold a Prestige. It's like, oh yeah, the Prestige is thinner. Or thinner, I mean, it's a little thicker, maybe by a millimeter or two than a Ibanez RG550 Genesis, if that helps you guys at all. It's good, it's perfect. Mother of pearl inlays the block, I like that a lot. All handmade. I mean, none of this is seen in any machines. It's how they are. The serial numbers, it starts with like USA, so you know it's made in USA. I contacted ESP to ask them how their serial number structure works. If you have a USA 25011, it means that it was made in 2025 and it was the 11th one made that year. Not of this kind, but the 11th ESP USA handmade that year. This is a one of a kind with these specs. You could have it made, but then you're going to be waiting months, probably at least a year or longer. But I really like the paint job on this. It's like a metallic type. It's called Hellfire. It's beautiful. I'm not really a fan of neck throughs. This one has a bolt on, luckily. Beautiful binding, if you can see that. I know the lighting's not the best. It sounds great. This pickup is phenomenal. It's one of my favorite pickups, Seymour Duncan's. DiMarzios are awesome. I played them for years. They've got more of a thud sound to me. I know that it depends what amp you're playing through. You put anything through like, you know, a Mesa Boogie or a 5150, it's going to sound crazy. You know, it's going to sound really good. But the DiMarzios are a little smoother, meaning like thuddy, like they don't punch as much. These have the power of EMGs, but a little better, and the width, they're just better. I really prefer the analog. I call these analog, but they're the passive pickups. No battery required, like in the EMGs. EMGs to me sound a little brittle. Of course, you could fix that with EQs and whatnot, but I'm not warmed up. I'll give you a little sound here. I'm using the Yamaha amp. Now the single coil, pull it. First we'll do it without. Now we'll pull it for single coil. You hear it? It's a chimey, little raspy, like a Fender almost. Regular. Now the single coil. See, it's got that cool raspy. And the cleans on this are phenomenal. Anyway. Can you hear that? It's crazy. And when I talk about flutter, for those of you who don't know, when you do this with the bounce, because of the springs, it is so firm and yet bouncy. That's what she said. And you can feel the flutter through the whole body of this guitar. It's crazy. about as warmed up as I'm gonna get. Anyway, check out more videos for nostalgic, kick-ass musicians that you guys know and love. Behind the scenes, and I'm always on the dig for some really cool stuff. Like, again, more stories, nostalgia on the 80s, and kick-ass videos of musicians. Check out this playlist here to see some of those, and I hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed making them. I love watching them and listening to them. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. See you in the next one.